Following the deaths of Cole and Braxton, a judge says Macon-Bibb County can temporarily shut down the store they call a hotspot for violent crime. After a hearing today, a Superior Court judge signed an order shutting down the Friends Food Mart for at least 30 days.
The case heads back to court on June 29th when the county and the store's lawyers can argue whether it should reopen. Bibb County says they've responded to more than 20 complaints there since 2020, including drugs and gangs. Meanwhile, the sheriff's office is still investigating Monday's shootout that left 2 men dead and a third injured. Now, last night's shooting at Friends Food Mart marks Bibb County's 28th and 29th homicides of the year.
A business owner says he feels the sheriff's office is not giving the South Macon area the attention it needs. Kalisha Moore is live in studio to tell us more.
After an argument led to a shooting at a Bibb County convenience store, 2 men are dead and 1 remains in stable condition. I spoke to Muhammad Mueed, who says the convenience store he owns is where it started, and he's seen crime become a pattern.
It's getting out of hand. Yeah. Like, we don't feel safe.
After 2 years in business on Houston Avenue, Muhammad Mueed says things have taken a turn for the worst over the last 6 months.
Every other day there is like shooting going around here, and then and when we try to call the police, I have to say I'm sorry that the police is not helping us out with that.
He owns the convenience store just a few feet where 2 men began shooting at each other on Monday, and both ended up dead. Mueed says crime is a problem, but so are the Bibb County Sheriff's Office response times. He gave an example from last month.
I called the police, and it was about I would say 4:30, and they said help is on the way. But that help came about 7 o'clock.
But last night when Braxton Cole and Roderick Felton exchanged shots, Sergeant Linda Howard of the Sheriff's Office says it took deputies just 3 minutes to respond.
We had Mr. Cole approaching Mr. Fulton in the parking lot. As Mr. Fulton is walking into the store, Cole is following him inside. They exchange words right there at the entrance. Cole produces a gun and shoots Fulton. Fulton then produces a gun himself and shoots back at Cole.
Howard says they're still investigating whether the 2 men were gang members and possible motives. But as many of Macon's recent shootings have involved young adults, Howard says they lean on the community for help.
One is too many. And we're just asking the community if they know of anybody having any disagreements, no matter how small. Small arguments can turn to something big like what happened last night.
Now, Mueed says an employee told him the fight started at his store, then moved to the Friends Food Mart next door. He says he knows one of the men who died as a regular customer. He says they hardly see patrol cars along Houston Avenue, but Howard says they have assigned deputies to the neighborhood. Back to you at the desk.
All right, thank you, Kalisha. Many of you have been reacting to the recent homicides on social media. Brenda thinks the area needs more security. She says park a police car in that parking lot, put an armed officer inside that store. I bet they find somewhere else to hang.
Christy says basically an everyday occurrence in Macon.
Kimberly sends prayers for peace and love and says stop the killing.
And Thoy writes, it will never end. You can share your thoughts by finding this post on our Facebook page.